There's a lot for us in Africa to be proud of. There is increasing political will on sanitation. There is increasing recognition of sanitation as a basic human right. There is increasing focus on issues of inequality and the recognition of the criticality of hygiene and an increasing recognition of the critical role of sanitation in nation building, including in developing its economy. That said, in a room of sanitation champions, it's good to remind ourselves of the huge challenges that still persist. Though the proportion of people defecating in Africa in the open is down by 11% during 1990 to 2012, in absolute terms though, there are now 33 million more people defecating in the open since 1990, which means that 141 million more Africans are without safe sanitation. During the course of these 3 days of AfricaSan 4, sadly, 3,300 children under 5 will die due to diarrhea, largely caused due to poor sanitation. Many more hours will have been lost as people, especially women and girls, try to find a place to defecate. Many more adolescent girls will not go to school as their schools do not provide privacy to manage their menstruation needs. And many women will give birth to their children in hospitals and health centers that have poor sanitation facilities. All of us in this room and in this conference and the institutions, organizations and governments we represent need to accept responsibility for this. This is a huge moral responsibility with immense social and economic costs for Africa. And the costs in terms of women and girls who are likely to be molested or sexually violated while going out in the open to defecate, and the indignity that they can face can never be calculated, understood or estimated. But we have a historical opportunity to change it all. We have the opportunity to make commitments that are ambitious and leading to transformational change. A change that requires even greater political will, even more resources led by national governments, even better capacities, and of course, effective coordination, harmonization, and integration with other key sectors like health, education, and nutrition. We have the opportunity to influence those policies and practices and ensure that the change is real. Future generations will judge us not by the quantity or ambition of our commitments, but by our ability to deliver against them. And for that to happen, we need to communicate the scale of the sanitation crisis and the urgency to find sustainable solutions with heads of states, heads of governments, with finance ministers, with ministers of health, education, nutrition, livelihoods. Communities are seeking more transparency and accountability. Last Tuesday, I was in the Rumpi district of Malawi in a village called Kahera. I was meeting with the members of the Village Action Committee who had been focusing on promoting water and sanitation in their community. And when I asked them what their future aspiration was, one woman, in the presence of all the district officials and the elected ward councillors, said, "I want to promote greater transparency and accountability. I want to know how much money is allocated to my village, and I want to know what outcomes are being achieved." Another young man stood up and said, "I want my children to understand what right to health, education, water and sanitation actually means, so that my child is always better informed, better educated and healthy." That is the aspiration we need to recognize. That is the aspiration we need to fulfill. The goal of universal access to water, sanitation and hygiene by 2030 is therefore a no excuses goalpost. Together, we can achieve it. We must achieve it. There is no option. And that's what we look forward to the Ngor Declaration here in Dakar, Senegal. Once again, I wish to congratulate the organizers for this conference and the President and the government of Senegal, and of course the people of Senegal, for the hospitality extended to all of us. Thank you very much.